Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. Today, we're back in the writer's room. You guys, the response I have gotten from the first couple of episodes of this that I put out has been incredible. A lot of you have asked me to keep going, so here we are. Before we jump into it, I did want to let you know I have a Patreon now, so check that out. Patreon.com/Real Housewives Recap, and you'll find my logo and you'll find us. So take a look at that, see if it works out. The first episode's free. You can watch it here on YouTube. After that, you can check them out on Patreon. We're doing the original Sex and the City series. So if you want to hear the uninterrupted podcast, it's in Just Like That, the Writer's Room. On this channel, I do reactions, and I pause a lot, and we talk through it. Just like we're sitting together and talking. I talk to you, you guys talk back to me in the comments. So we left off with their second episode of the podcast, which is the third episode of it, Just Like That they're covering. Confusing, I know. So in this one, they are interviewing, I'm never going to say her name right. It's Rashana. I'm very curious to see how or if she differs from the other writers. I'm guessing probably not. And let's see what she has to say.
So screaming, laughing.
And
that's what, and by the way, that's what it's for. It's laughter from uncomfortability. And people sitting at home on their couch who are Miranda.
You guys, they are confused on what show that we're all talking about. We don't watch this show to laugh from uncomfortability. Well, sometimes, but that's more of a Curb Your Enthusiasm / the comeback situation. That's not what we watch Sex and the City for, and Just Like That, right?
Feel scalded, I guess.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that it doesn't belong in the world.
You guys don't belong in the Sex and the City world, you jerks.
Right.
I really think there's a gendered response to embarrassment when it comes to seeing a woman.
I'm going to say one of my favorite things said on Always Sunny. What the shit?
Flail. I think there's a strange protectiveness that people feel over women, that they don't mind seeing Larry David humiliate himself and be an asshole. But
Guys, she's talking about Curb. I promise I didn't listen ahead. I'm just psychic, apparently.
there, with women, it's like, oh, it's a different, I don't know.
I don't agree that she humiliated herself. And I don't agree with that analogy that she was an asshole. What I think
If we're talking about Miranda, she absolutely did humiliate herself, and she is an asshole. But it's because you guys wrote her like that.
people were responding to was the difference between 55 and 25.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, the age thing again, you guys. These people must just have nothing going on in their lives.
That the students in the room were having such a horrific experience.
But notice when they talk about things like this, yes, it was a horrific experience to watch. They take no responsibility in that part. It's like it just magically appeared in front of them, and that's what they had to film. No, assholes, you're the writers. You're supposed to fix this.
Of her.
To what she's saying, they were projecting so much on top of this smart character that you love that that's exactly what happens when you don't know somebody. You don't give them the benefit of a doubt.
Yeah.
Damn, they're full of themselves, aren't they? It's like, I mean, obviously I knew they all were, but to hear Michael Patrick King kiss his own ass like that, it blows my mind every episode. I don't even know why I'm surprised anymore, but it does.
And everybody, hopefully, who's known Miranda for 20 years, it feels like, oh, that's unfortunate. But that's what the show always did.
Yes.
Miranda especially was the most uncomfortable. She got hit with semen in the face.
Oh my God, it's back. He can't stop talking about semen. At least he's not talking about Brady's this time. Blah, it's so gross.
Yeah.
And a tantric sex show. Like they've glossed over in their memory the journey of Sex and the City.
Okay, things are really getting weird because now they're going to convince us why we're wrong and why the show is magnificent.
For 6 years, which was shocking, repellent, made people angry, and they're remembering it in syndication.
It's true.
Which is just love.
That's a great point.
I don't know what the hell show they're talking about or watching. I just don't have that same experience. Miranda's just never been my favorite character, but I understand why she is some people's favorite character. I'm just not that serious of a person, so I think that's why she didn't appeal to me. But I get people that are, and I get why people would have liked her. Now, when I say all this, I mean original Miranda. I don't know what this alien abducted, head transplanted monster is that we're getting on our screens now.
I was going to say, too, Michael, when I first met you, we also talked, I was like, I feel like that show taught me that every scene doesn't have to end with like a bum. And like, it was like the first dramedy I really watched. And so like from its inception, I remember it being, I mean, there's a scene where the women sit around and talk about how many abortions they've had.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is, too, when the show debuted, people were like, speaking of following the baby analogy.
You know what? I actually find myself getting a little bummed out as they, pick apart the original series. Don't mess with the original series. It was great. You guys suck. Let's talk about why And Just Like That sucks.
It's like a baby that you go, is it cute or is it ugly?
Totally.
And people were like, is this funny or is this a drama? And we managed to do that in the funeral scenes.
Yeah.
I mean.
So we're back to And Just Like That. And they think those scenes were funny. Did you guys find them funny? All I kept thinking was, this is a weird location. This is a weird situation. I like that they gave a nod to Samantha, but they did her so wrong in the handling of it. And they had Stanford acting like an asshole. So no, I didn't find it that funny.
Agreed.
The series has always been complicated. In revisionist history, it was fun.
Right.
Fuck off with this nonsense. Why are you trying to, beat the fun out of the original show? It was fun. Yes, they dealt with serious issues, but it was still fun. Stop trying to take that away from us, you asshats.
Cosmos.
Right. I can't tell you how many people were like, we had a bunch of people over, we were drinking, we were laughing, and then what?
Am I in the Twilight Zone? Why are they talking about it like this? Is that not what we were meant to do? That's how I watched it. I'm sure that's how a lot of you watched it. And now they're acting like we're the crazy ones for doing that.
And I could not be happier. I'm sorry for your friends, Julie. Because here's what my experience in television has been when you do something new. They assume you're not driving. People assume you're not going to take care of them as a viewer. We would never leave Carrie alone on that couch with the rain and thunder if we hadn't had a plan.
I think they are so full of shit. I'm going to have to pull out my thesaurus and look up other words for full of shit because that's what we're listening to.
Not in a way that you might want. It might take you 7 or 8 episodes to feel good. Or you might get there in 3, which is what it's for.
So we were right, and the writers are wrong, and na. Yes, I'm a grown-up.
Okay, let's get into episode 103. Just 3 for you if you're watching at home.
That's just a little inside lingo for us common folk who might not understand.
Which is called When in Rome, written by Julie Rottenberg and Elisa Zaritsky. And please, if you have not watched 1 and 2 yet, or 3, stop and go do that so you can enjoy all the spoilers that may come out of our mouths.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you don't need to do that, and I'll tell you that the episodes are awful, and that's all you need to know. So let's hear their spoilers.
Come on now. You know better. Get with it.
So episode 3 starts, we pick up with Carrie and her friends about 3 weeks after Big's death.
So in their minds, they feel like that's about the right time for her to start dating again.
And we see that she's back to her life. She does the podcast, and then
in 3 weeks. 3 weeks. That's all they gave her to grieve. And also, I love that they have to point out that she did the podcast because, that's a really important thing, except for that it's not. And who's listening to that?
She goes into the will reading for Big. She's joined by Miranda, and there at the Big will reading, she learns that Big has left his ex-wife, Natasha, who has always dogged her.
Nope, you have it wrong again. Let me fill it in for you. She didn't dog her. It's the other way around. Carrie went after Natasha. She's the one that interfered with Natasha's marriage and then stalked her basically to get her to forgive her for being an asshole? No, you have this wrong.
$1 million.
I mean, the thing that I loved about it being Natasha is that line from season 3 where Carrie's in the dressing room And she says to Miranda, and Natasha sees her half dressed, and she says, she's always looking amazing, and I'm friggin' Annie, get your clothes on.
Okay, I did like that line, and I do like those episodes, but you idiot writers don't get to laugh at that.
So the dynamic, the power dynamic has already been set up that the classic from the show is one is a curly girl and one is a straight-haired girl.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but he's a complete idiot. I'm flipping off my computer as I listen to this. I just wanted to let you know.
And Natasha's that straight-haired girl who's perfect, and Carrie's the curly-haired girl who doesn't fit the prototype.
Oh, fuck off with your bullshit, I swear. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up here because I got to look up new swear words. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really am enjoying recapping this. You guys seem to be enjoying it too. I love your comments. Please continue to leave them. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. Find me at my email address, rhrcomments@gmail.com, and you can send me your videos. I'm looking for reaction videos. It can be to And Just Like That, the original Sex and the City, whatever you want to do. So send those there. Film your wall. Film yourself. I don't care. Just talk loudly into your mic, and I'll see if I can use those in a future video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will talk to you soon. Okay, bye-bye.